Today I want to talk about why I switched to the Logitech Streamcam. So many of you viewers know, or if you're new to the channel, I'm a firm advocate when it comes to Logitech gear. Yes, I'm a Logitech fanboy through and through. And in the past, when I first started streaming, I used the Logitech C920 and then upgraded to the Logitech Brio. And I've been using Logitech Brio now for a handful of years. And I was one of the lucky ones. I've never really had an issue with it. I will admit it takes a lot of tweaking, and depending on what I'm wearing or how the lighting is in the background, I usually will have to tweak it before recording content or going live. Now, that brings me back to the Logitech Streamcam. I was quite nervous on picking this up because I kind of viewed it as a downgrade, because the fact that the Logitech Streamcam will only do up to 1080p at 60 frames a second, where the Logitech Brio can actually go up to 4K. Now, I started to think about it that I never really recorded anything in 4K or live streamed in 4K. So really, was it a downgrade? And I really can't speak to the microphones on either of the two because I never really used the microphones. Even back when I used the C920, I used a USB microphone, and now I'm using an XLR microphone. So the way I view it is, if you have money to spend on a Logitech Streamcam, you should have the funds to at least buy a cheap USB microphone, which is going to be far superior to what is built into the cam itself. So, and that goes for really any of the cams. I would recommend just turning off the microphone on those cameras and picking yourself up at least a cheap USB microphone. Matter of fact, we have several videos on several good cheap USB microphones. Ones that I thought were going to be complete trash, and they weren't. Believe it or not. So back to the Streamcam. The second reason why I picked up the Logitech Streamcam was for you, the viewer. That's right, because here we call ourselves live streaming tech, and if I don't buy tech or review it or look into it, then why should you be comfortable enough to part with your money doing so? So think of me as the guinea pig. And I kind of was, like I said, I was kind of nervous about it because I viewed it as a downgrade. I thought that maybe it was going to be something that I regretted purchasing. And yes, true, I could always box it back up and send it to Amazon. And speaking of, definitely check out that link in the description below. By you clicking on it or whatever, you don't necessarily have to buy the Logitech Streamcam, buy anything else or whatever. It helps support the channel. But I would not be against you buying the Logitech Streamcam. That brings me to the third reason. It is very plug and play friendly. I would have to say that I did only slight tweaking. Matter of fact, I haven't touched the settings at all since I did the unboxing video. And that's surprising because of the fact that I'm always quite annoyed when I open up OBS, whether I'm using the recorder stream and looking at myself in the, through the camera lens, and I go, oh, I need to adjust it. Now, could I do some more tweaking on it? Yes, I could probably dial it in just a little better, and I'll probably do that when time comes along where I'm changing a different color of my shirt or something, and something's just gonna set me off on where I'm gonna have to mess around with it. But I find that what I did have to tweak on the Logitech Streamcam versus the Brio was far simpler, quicker, and the Brio was just a lot more sensitive. You really got to play around with it to get that going. And you'll read in a lot of forums, everyone says it's lighting. And yes, I will agree with them that you should always have good lighting when it comes to streaming, regardless of what camera you're using, whether it's DSLR or a cheap C920, you're going to definitely need good lighting. So really, when it comes to the Brio, if you got decent lighting or whatever, it shouldn't be an issue to begin with. But I did find that it is a lot more sensitive than this Logitech Streamcam and the C920. The C920, I didn't really have to tweak that too much as well. So I do like the fact that I was able to plug it in, do some slight tweaking on the settings, and I was ready to roll, not spending too much time on it and not really scratching my head wondering if that was the best setting that I could find. Third is there's a lot of projects that Dale and I are going to be working on coming up when it comes to using dual cameras. Now, here's the thing. Yes, I could have had the Logitech Brio, and then I could have blown the dust off this Logitech C920 to record content or live stream with multiple cameras or using multiple camera angles. But the thing is once again, why not just pick up the new Logitech Streamcam and find out what that's about? And I'm kind of glad. I'm really happy with the purchase. If I were to give it any kind of rating whatsoever, I would give it a 4.5. The only reason why I'm giving it a 4.5 is because the fact that, it was the USB-C. Really? Really, Logitech? And the second thing is the cable that attaches into the camera is hardwired in. So that's right. So if you get a short in that cable, or you choose not to use the C, you're going to have to get an adapter to make it just a regular USB 3.1 or a 2.0, so on and so forth. And there's no switching out the cable, where at least with the Logitech Brio, I could switch the cable out on that. So if I wanted to use that as a C or a USB, then I could grab the cable accordingly and plug it into the Brio. So, and the other thing too is if I ever get a short in the cable, I can easily swap that out. Now with the Logitech Streamcam, if I get a short in the cable from winding it up and unwinding it and whatnot, I'm pretty much screwed, and I had to have to buy a new Logitech Streamcam. So that's one of the cons, and it's really only a slight con. So before you booger eaters or whatever out there decide to, you know, put a bunch of harsh comments on there talking about I'm just an old grumpy man and I don't know what I'm talking about, you know where to go post that. Go post it on your wall. So at any rate, that's my reason why I switched to Logitech Streamcam. Once again, I'm happy with this Logitech product. Did I wish that they did put a little bit more into it, such as the ability to shoot in 4K and record in 4K? Definitely, most definitely. But the price point is there to where I don't feel that I feel robbed for them not putting that 4K in. So if you're not looking to future-proof yourself, like say you do with the Logitech Brio, then go with the Logitech Streamcam. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by it, that it's well worth the bang for your buck. As a matter of fact, I saved 20 bucks too. I think I mentioned it in the unboxing video. I saved 20 bucks by picking up the white version versus the black. Here's the thing. I don't care whether it's white or black. You know, I looked at it this way. Oh, I get to save $20 for having the white one. So for all you Mac lovers out there and whatnot, or say you have monitors that have the white trim instead of the black trim, then it'll definitely match yours. And if you're like me and you don't really care about that kind of stuff, then definitely pick up the white one. Save yourself a few bucks and, I don't know, put it into something like a cheap USB microphone. And speaking of a cheap USB microphone, it's either here or here. You definitely want to check that video out right there to spend that extra 20 bucks on one of these.